Every single time you think the Cleveland Browns possibly couldn't get any worse, being a fan of the Cleveland Browns couldn't get any worse, that this 2025 season couldn't get any worse, the Browns simply find new ways to make things unenjoyable. They try and find new ways to make things worse than they possibly could ever be. And they did so yesterday by reactivating, or I should say, activating Deshaun Watson's 21-day practice window. You heard that right. Deshaun Watson is back on the practice field for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, he's back on the field practicing, guys. He was here yesterday in Berea practicing. Look at him. Oh, look, what a great play action fake. Throws the deep ball. Look at that. Deshaun Watson back out there in Berea practicing for the Cleveland Browns. And again, the worst part, he could actually play this season. He could play this season. Deshaun Watson, after stealing $230 million, after the Browns destroying their franchise, their future, the trade for Deshaun Watson, after Deshaun Watson plays absolutely horrible for the vast majority of his time here, and he tears his Achilles not once, but twice, also had a shoulder injury that no other NFL quarterback or any other NFL player outside of baseball has ever had, and had to get surgery on that. Somehow, some way, he is back practicing for the Cleveland Browns, and he has a shot to play for the Cleveland Browns. And the worst part, on top of all the other worst parts, is that he's probably the best quarterback option that the Cleveland Browns have. Please save me. Save me. This is the absolute worst case scenario if you're a Browns fan, because you thought that the talk about Shedeur Sanders not getting any reps, or Shedeur Sanders maybe not, being treated fairly by the Browns was bad under Dylan Gabriel. What is going to happen if, let's say, Shedeur Sanders struggles for the next couple of weeks, and then week 15, week 16, or week 17, the Browns decide to hand over the reins to Deshaun Watson? You are going to see the levels of anger and seething that you have never seen before from Browns fans. Genuinely, if they decide to start Deshaun Watson in a home game in Cleveland when the Browns are like 3-12, and they decide to put Deshaun Watson out there in front of the home fans, you are going to get booed mercilessly. This entire thing did not need to happen. Deshaun Watson, his 21-day activation window didn't need to happen. It just didn't need to happen. This is all optional, by the way. This is all optional. So the Browns decided, after having the entire Shedeur Sanders saga and that drama happen, after having the Myles Garrett drama happen, after the whole talk being about how bad Kevin Stefanski is a head coach, you now add into the mix Deshaun Watson, who you destroyed the future of your franchise for, who absolutely is going down as the worst trade in NFL history. You decide that now is a good time to bring him back out here. And they did this all voluntarily. Nobody told them to do this. It was voluntary. This is why the Browns are not going to be successful when you have people who are in charge who make decisions like this. And this opens up a lot of different doors that I do not want to go down, because now Deshaun Watson's going to get practice reps. What's to say that, maybe Deshaun Watson doesn't get a shot to start next year? Because this is what it's opening up, guys. The Browns, if they take a quarterback next year, let's say the Browns take a quarterback next year in the draft. You're going to have, and they decide not to cut Deshaun Watson after June 1st. He's not a post-June 1st cut. What would happen if Deshaun Watson was in a quarterback competition with your rookie quarterback and Shedeur Sanders? That is a quarterback competition from hell. Or let's say a lot of people don't want the Browns to take a quarterback in this upcoming draft. A lot of people will say, go take a receiver and fix your offensive line. Those are the two biggest needs that you have right now. And you can't have a quarterback, especially a rookie quarterback, come in when your offensive line and your wide receiver group is as bad as it is. Okay, well, you're going to have a quarterback competition next year if you don't cut Deshaun Watson, because no other team is going to take Deshaun Watson. You're either going to have to eat the cap hit, which is going to be absolutely massive. I think it's $80 million in terms of a cap hit if you cut Deshaun next year. Are you going to take the cap hit and cut your losses and just eat it and move on? Or are you going to have Deshaun Watson go out there and compete for the starting quarterback job with Shedeur Sanders next year? Do you understand how much of a rock and a hard place that the Cleveland Browns have put themselves in? And they did this voluntarily. They did this on their own. That is how dumb of an organization the Browns are. That's how bad they are. Okay? And again, to me, the Browns are just the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC. Jimmy Haslam wants to be Jerry Jones so bad to the point where he's saying, any press is good press. As long as you keep talking about us, that's all we want. That's the problem that we have with Jimmy Haslam as an owner. There's no reason why the Browns should have activated Deshaun Watson. I understand you probably want to see what else you can get out of him maybe. Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel so far haven't shown you much. Then again, Shedeur Sanders has only started 2 NFL games in his career. So we still don't know what we have in Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel's only played 6 games and he went out with a concussion. We still don't know that much about Dillon Gabriel, but we still kind of have an idea about what Dillon Gabriel can bring to a table to an NFL organization. That is the issue here, okay? And the problem is that you have an organization like the Browns who have to be in this scenario to try and get Deshaun Watson ready to play for 2026. This is why the Browns are in the position they are in, because they have decided if they've put themselves in a position where they need to see Deshaun Watson, and because he's the best option that they have right now. This is the issue. He's the best option that they have. Please tell me who has it worse than the Cleveland Browns? Who has it worse? Deshaun Watson right now probably is the best quarterback on the roster. Even with the 2 Achilles tears, with the shoulder injury and the surgery that no other quarterback in the NFL has ever had, Deshaun Watson may be the best quarterback option for you right now. Because it's either him or it's Bailey Zappi. Which one do you guys rather have? Again, the Browns did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. And there is a very likely possibility that we could see Deshaun Watson play football for the Cleveland Browns at the end of the season. And if they decide not to cut him and they try and, pay him what they still owe him and not cut him, next year, you're going to have a quarterback competition between Deshaun Watson, maybe a first-round rookie quarterback, and Shedeur Sanders to be your starter. You thought that this year was bad when it came to the 4-man quarterback competition with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur, and Dillon Gabriel? You thought that the discourse around that was bad? Oh boy. 2026, if that is going to be the case, if Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, and a rookie quarterback are fighting each other for the starting quarterback role next season for the Cleveland Browns, we are going to see discourse and arguments to the level that we have not seen before in Cleveland. And maybe, frankly, in the NFL. We're going to see levels of delusion and levels of arguments that we have never seen before. And I don't know if anyone is ready for that. But the Browns created this scenario. They did it to themselves. And the Browns fans are the only ones who are going to suffer for it. That's the main takeaway. But again, we're the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC. As long as we're talked about in the media, doesn't matter if we win, lose, as long as we're talked about. Apparently that's what Jimmy Haslam wants. But hey, we're getting a new stadium. Fan experience, we're not gonna be sitting in the snow, in the freezing cold to watch a 3-14 football team. We'll be in a heated dome. It's all that matters, man. It's all that matters at the end of the day, according to Jimmy Haslam. I don't know what else to do other than to try and make jokes, because if I don't make jokes, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry because this is my football team. This is what I have to deal with. This is what I've grown up with, and I have to deal with this poor excuse of a football team. And the best quarterback on my football team is a man who was accused 27 times of being an awful human being and has torn his Achilles twice and had a shoulder injury that no other quarterback in NFL history has ever had. What a time to be a Browns fan. What a time. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's get me to 1,000 subscribers. At least that will help me ease my pain. All right. I'll see you guys all in Coming Off the Bench on Friday at noon Eastern. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. See you guys Friday at noon for Coming Off the Bench. Take care, everybody.